Room just announced they got a job selling phones for Sprint retail. Good for you, Demon Dave. Well, hey, it's good. I'm glad you got that. Hopefully you'll make some good commission on that. A lot of people are attracted to Sarah, and they were saying in the other show that I was watching the chat, someone said, just one person said, that Sarah's really down to earth, and David's more like Justin from Battle Camp. I'm not trying to be impressing you with my fake teeth. These aren't fake teeth. These are press-on veneers. Big difference. I saw that in chat, and I couldn't believe it. Justin from Battle... I mean, who is this person, and why am I being targeted as a guy who's not down to earth? I like a good question, Adele. Go ahead. I'll be hiring people without necessarily a college education in my administration. Everybody's open to getting a job when I become president. I don't believe in this class society or caste society that we're forming with all these college graduates thinking they're so wonderful. He's a huge talent, really? Well, then I guess I'm a huge talent too. That's kind of a compliment then. I should take it that way. Sarah's a beautiful woman and she's very down to earth, but I want to be more down to earth. I don't have a wig. I proved that to you with my wet head. I'm trying to show you guys I'm not lying about my hair. Yes, Sarah's good person, and so am I. I'm a good person inside, and there's no reason why you should target me as some sort of a weirdo. I'm not anti-intellectual at all. No, I'm quite the intellectual. In fact, I was always pegged as the intellectual in high school when I graduated #1 in my class. But when I was turned down by all the Ivy League universities I applied for, I was quite shocked that they were allowing people with B- averages like Barack Obama. Actually, he had a C- average at Occidental, I understand. They allowed them into Harvard and not me. I was really shocked at that. I felt that I never said you threatened me, Sniper. It was another person named Sniper. Don't worry about it. Why do you have a name like Sniper if you're not out there to threaten people anyway? Yeah, I heard, Bo Rules. ISIS is joined a partnership with ISIL, and I believe their training grounds in Jordan are still active where they train with the CIA. So when the government wants to create a war, they create terrorism. That's what's happened. You know, we all know that Libya involved our government funding known Al-Qaeda members to take over Muammar Gaddafi. What about that do you not understand? Because that's the telltale sign that the same thing's going on. My GPA back in high school, I just opened it up, 4.0. I'm making a copy of my actual GPA. It's really kind of faded, but I'm going to pull it up on a Xerox and show it to everybody that I had a 4.0 when I graduated. I was the #1 student out of 770 students. So I was considered an intellectual. And in the many years after that, I learned through my real life experience that nobody wants to see some conceited bastard talk as if, well, actually, I believe that the academic approach is more appropriate in this matter. No one wants to see that. They want to see a real person. And I became a real person in the process. Lived on the street in my van down by the beach in Venice. Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's already hot. All right, see you then. Take care. Bye-bye. Whew, yeah. Everything's hot. No, my 4.0 is awesome, Ed. Hey, don't get me wrong, though. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to make you understand that I was a victim of affirmative action. And as a victim of affirmative action, I was judged on the color of my skin. Well, in a country that's supposed to be free and...
Hey, guys. Welcome to our first State of the Vaughn address, but not our first...
I'm going to pause the Vaughn address, thanks. How did that start on its own? I don't know. It must have taken forever for him to start because it was like slowly coming up. I'm going to slow down the chat, Adele, but I'd like to read more. I didn't miss your question again. I'm going to read it. Hang on. Adele is asking a question. You missed my question. You missed my question. You missed my question. You missed my question. You like a good question? I would. How did I miss that good question? Yeah. Why is the IDF training the American police, and why? Israeli Defense Forces have been working collaterally with the U.S. military for some time. But the real question is, why are we engaging in a battle in other countries on the ground? Why would we even send troops into the Middle East? And my answer to you, Adele, is I will subtract troops from the Middle East, and I will not engage in a ground war in the Middle East, period. If Israel needs our support, we'll give them support collaterally with air defenses, but only air defenses. There's no way we would send our troops in there to die in a Middle Eastern war. You've read the Bible, right? Or maybe you haven't. Maybe you read the Torah. Or whatever you've read, the Quran, whatever. There's got to be some reference to the end of the world in there. And we don't want that. Not on my watch, thank you. I want to help. I don't want to hurt. The link to the last video you had playing, that was the Vaughn link, yeah. Do you need the Vaughn link? Sure. You want to see the Vaughn addressed? Yeah, it's here if you want it. I mean, well, let's be clear. You can have the Vaughn State of the Union address if you want. I was born and baptized a Catholic. So if I say I'm a Christian, it pisses off a lot of Christians. But I left the church and religious rituals back when I was 11 years old. All I believe is what I see in front of me, and right now I see a country in dire need of some direction. Now you can say the power of what compels you. You can even say the power of atheism moves you along in your life. All I can tell you is we need to get together on a political level, not on a religious level. If you are seeking religious enlightenment, why don't you go spend time in a monastery or with some nuns or something and sing Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. I'm not a libtard and I'm not a hippie douche. I'm everything but that. I am the opposite of the Democrats in my commie state, the little Soviet Union we call Washington State. I am a person who stepped outside of the Democratic Party and said, you know, some of those Republicans have something important to say. They're talking about the dangers of huge pension plans with public unions. What's happening here?
This is Town Hall. Welcome, everyone.
Okay. Did his mom make an appearance in his Vaughn State of the Union Vaughn address? You're reading a satanic Bible? You're pretty messed up. No, communism is a big part of the Washington State history. They used to call it the little Soviet Union out here. She's bringing him cookies during the Vaughn State of the Union. Well, what can I say? Well, I have to definitely remove the power that has obviously tilted in the direction of people of Jewish faith. We want fairness in every industry, and I've openly stated that I do believe that Jewish people dominate 4 industries: medicine, law. Of course, they dominate the media, and of the banking industry. One of the most important industries, the kingpin, is dominated by Jewish people. I don't want to in any way target people who are Jewish. I just want other people to have opportunity to enter those fields. There's talk about Asian people now trying to overturn affirmative action for Asians, not for Caucasians, but for Asians, which really sucks for people who are, like me, really talented and unable to, get a college education for a decent price or get into Ivy League universities that lead to a ticket to ride, where you can make all kinds of money when you graduate from those schools. My number is 707 your ATP, YOUR-ATP. No, I was not trying to make a joke with Asians. No, I was trying to tell you that Asians are trying to seek fairness for Asians. Why is it Caucasians don't do the same? I mean, we aren't even gathering together at the river to celebrate anything. We're like disenfranchised. The nuclear family has turned into a death knell for people of any cultural background, let alone Caucasian. Please don't use the N-word here. I appreciate that. I don't want anyone to gain access to our education system because they're black. I want everybody to gain access to our education system because of the content of their character, much like what Martin Luther King said. We've never really followed that dictum. This guy is a scam, you're saying. You are full of crap, and I'm going to ban you for that. Do not say the N-word in here. Thank you. And that's not funny. All right. Thank you, PPTP. Boy, you guys really are kind of in need of a good shepherd, aren't you? I'm a good shepherd. David, what are you going to do about the attack on the family unit over the decades? Well, look what the Black Panthers did. They got together and purchased legal weapons back in the 60s and said, want to take care of the people, their own people. And then the government stepped down on them like they were some bad group of people, when they were just trying to build up the father image in the African American households. And, by the way, they won the lawsuit. They got their weapons back. They had legally purchased weapons, and the government confiscated all those back in the 60s. So I don't want to cast aspersions on any group of people right now, because they're not doing anything bad. They're trying to restore their pride in their family, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure what you're saying, Sniper, but does it really matter? I don't have white guilt at all. I have white pride. I'm pridefully Caucasian, but that doesn't make me some sort of a white supremacist. It doesn't make me a nationalist or some super patriot. I believe that this country can get along. I really do. In the words of the infamous Rodney King, can't we just get along? I mean, that was better than Martin Luther King in some ways. And they're not related, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to ask you not to recite the words of Satan in our show. Thank you. It's just irrelevant to the political... people aren't running around espousing God here, so why would you be espousing Satan? Right. This is the deal. With the allowance of all of these 5 million illegal aliens to become work visa aliens, number one, there's no 5 million magic number. It'll never stop at 5 million. You can't just turn people away once you start down this slippery slope. We're moving in the direction... I don't politically assassinate my political career at all. I'm using all of this to elevate. Much like a person has to stand on piles of crap in order to get to a higher place, I wait for the crap to dry and then I step on top of it. You don't realize that. You don't understand. You don't even think on a metacognitive level. You people are obviously people that live in a world of prejudice, hatred, and animosity, and jealousy. And what I'm doing here, I'm not being racist at all. I'm telling you, I have to give everybody a chance, an equal chance, if I'm going to be a good president. There's no way I can be a good president if I'm going to just cater to African Americans like Barack Obama does. All right. So don't think for a second I'm abandoning the equality issue, because it's very important to me. It's going to be a huge problem with unemployment, yeah. And the lie about unemployment is a lie, too. 6% unemployment is BS. I was telling a Democrat in our room last night, thank you, I'm trying to reach everyone I can, 586, and the number's growing every day, in case you didn't notice. The reality is I have to deal with these people who are not getting any restitution in Ferguson. Obama's never stepped up and said, hey, we got a problem with police brutality in cities across the country. Instead, he's allowing people in the exterior to frame the discussion. Obama is, as you know, and there's no big deal, a useless lame duck president. Has been since the moment he stepped into the office. You now living in Southern California, there's such a melting pot of cultures out there. I know, Sunstar. The population in Southern California has doubled. How can the IRS break down their back with it? I don't get that. Well, they're not even going to pay taxes. A lot of these illegal aliens, and this is the irony here, the Democrats believe Obama's statement that they're going to increase the tax base. Well, let me get this straight. They came over here illegally, cheating. Does that make sure that they're going to be honest taxpayers? I mean, hello? I mean, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it gives freedom to illegal aliens and suppresses freedom to American citizens, it is Barack Obama, the duck. Quack. Obama. He is. And I share a lot of your anger, all of you. Believe me. I've been starting this party for 6 years now with the intent that we will somehow break through the ice in the center of the political spectrum and get some semblance of intelligence back into politics. You want to see me in a vest? What about a jacket? Why don't I just reach into my closet and get a jacket? I don't want a race war. God. I'm an integrationist, you moron. God. No, yeah, UKO, they stopped the tagging on my website. Okay. Yeah, the government owns Google, and they absolutely control all the hits to any site. It happened during the Penguin update 3 years ago. Bull Rules has something. Zen Karma. Well, thanks. I don't really think that's relevant to our show. I mean, tantric sex positions is not relevant to politics. Unless you're in the middle of a political battle over who gets on top. I mean, that's one thing. Okay, classy, yes, I am. I'm wearing it now. Is that okay? Many people want to know what kind of physique I have underneath the jacket. You know, I could look like Chris Christie right now and you wouldn't even know it. My tie was a great present for my sister. Thank you. I mean, seriously, Chris Christie in a suit looks just like me. Really no different. Let's take a look. See how nice and slim Chris looks in that suit? You wouldn't know that he's built like a walrus by looking at him, you know? You'd never guess. I look like a puppet? Wow. Oh my God. You really are sick. You're mentally ill. I manage my crap. I do. I know when to flush the toilet, I'll tell you that, and you're one of them. A lot of you are very upset, and many of you are clinging to the belief that we have to somehow defend this lame duck president who virtually doesn't even know which way is up. All he knows is where to sit down and read the teleprompter. Did you see him in his recent address? He looked like he was on drugs. Does anyone have a picture of him I could show later? Oh, pharmaceutical. Yeah. Oh, pharma. The guy's obviously on some sort of a designer drug to kind of pep him up while he's super depressed over his relationship with the transgender Michelle. I have never made any death threats against anybody, ever. And that kind of garbage makes him look like an idiot and you look like a moron. I hate to do this to you, but I got to ban you. I have never threatened anybody's life in my entire life. I'm a person dedicated to nonviolence to a fault. I mean, people think I'm a weak person because I'm kind. Don't ever misconfuse kindness with weakness. Please. You're making a critical error in your judgment. You walk up to a nice guy like me and push me to the edge of my niceness, I'm not going to be nice anymore. Well, that's no good feeling at all. If you have retribution for other people, you should deal with that your own way, not take it out on people. I'm not jealous of Obama. I'm angry that our corrupt system has allowed a liar to elevate to the highest position of our nation. Apparently, Michael Phelps' girlfriend was really a man. I didn't know that, businessman. Thank you. Michael Phelps. I saw a video game, a Kinect video game over at the Xbox or at the GameStop, and Michael Phelps has this video game where you can work out in his way. And I asked the lady at the GameStop, do you think this video has a tutorial on how to smoke a bong? And she said, what's a bong? And who's Michael Phelps? It's like, man, have you been immersed inside of your video games all your life? I mean, hello. He's a fraud and a liar. Oh yeah, he's lied numerous times and I can cite them. Well, bottom line is, I was angry at Bush the same way I am at Obama. I was angry at Clinton the same way I am at Obama. Even though I voted for Clinton, I was angry at him. And Bush Sr. I've been angry at every president because they're all bought-off puppets. Ever since I can remember. Bo Rules, that's a really a trapping statement. I won't respond to that question about that. Yeah, that's like saying, have you given up beating your wife? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you laughed finally. Okay, laughter is good. It heals your soul. Triclosan, a common microbial, is in personal hygiene products, causes liver fibrosis and cancer in mice. I know, I heard about that. Thank you. We'll take a look at that link too. Freedom Friday involves our freedom to talk about whatever's on your mind. I would not sleep with anyone to obtain power. And if you sold your soul to the devil, you got a bad deal in return, because you're going to be burning in hell. Okay, let's take a look at this article about fibrosis and triclosan. I've heard about this. Liver fibrosis and cancer in mice. Wow. It's an antimicrobial commonly found in soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, and many other household items. Despite its widespread use, researchers at University of California, San Diego Medicine reportedly potential serious consequences from long-term exposure to the chemical. That's an art form, by the way, how to talk really fast and enunciate. Especially with press-on veneers. It's hard. Okay, thanks for telling us, Mad Dog. And then Slate. Strattera is approved for ADHD treatment in adults. Why am I looking at that? Oh, yes, here we go. European Parliament may call for unbundling of Google. Thank you. Boy, I'd love to see that. I've been talking about breaking up the monopoly we know as Google for some time. I'm not a used car salesman. Why do you demean me? My God, I'm so much better than that. I would be a new car salesman, if anything. I'd be like a Porsche salesman if I was walking out. Seriously, if I walked out, wouldn't you expect me to be selling Porsches, not used cars? You can't sit on my face. It's illegal. There's a law against sitting on anybody's face. It smothers them. Okay, we got another picture of the bulge. No, that's Wally George. And you're trying to trick me. He's got Wally George is a guy I watched a couple times in California. People say I am the next Wally George. I just brought you a blank screen. I am not the next Wally George. He was conservative beyond all repair. I'm more of a social liberal than he ever was. But that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, because I'm able to strike a compromise between both parties. The party of absolute idiocy and the party of stalwart conservatism. They should change their names from Democrats to Democrats and Republicans to Republicans. Yeah, I know. I did see one show of Wally George where he introduced a guy who wanted to legalize marijuana back in 1981. Seriously. And I met the guy who was on the show who wanted to legalize marijuana. And it was such a controversial subject at the time, and now it's becoming more mainstream. 53% of this country wants to legalize Mary Jane. That's pretty impressive. Did I say 53? I meant 58. 58% wants to legalize Mary Jane. No, this is a much better tie than that. This is a real tie, man. This is a high-quality tie. Okay, she's your sister. Okay, Dave, do you want your thoughts on edible panties? I don't have any thoughts on edible panties. Could you take things more seriously? A lot of you don't realize, but you're going to be sitting in your house someday with not enough money to pay for your Slurpee, and you won't have any career because they abandoned you and your race. I mean, you need to start stepping it up. I know you can think better and you can come up with good issues to talk. David, your budget, nothing you own is high quality. Everything I own is high quality. I buy things at an 80% markdown. I go to Macy's and get a coat that's normally $200 and I got it for $39. You wrote the security layer that runs your non-appropriated fund, military funding? Wow. Well, I guess you realize how to be corrupt. So you're part of the military-industrial complex? Anon protag? Or are you just lying? My tie does not suck. It represents what this country stands for. Freedom. Our republic that lives by its laws. Let's be clear. Barack Obama is taking down our freedoms, one by one. He is slowly eroding the very essence of what people believe is truly American. And I'm not going to let that happen. And I'm not going to do any kind of impersonation right now. You can't get me to do that on cue. The issue of ocean contamination and nobody doing anything about it. Virus, were you on our Thursday show where we talked about ocean contamination? I'd love to. The Pacific Gyre, the size of Texas, is really a massive pile of plastic floating around in the ocean. Nobody in government's doing anything to correct that. Barack Obama wouldn't even resolve the problem with the oil slick that's still in the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Oil, we can call it. He wants to forget about anything and pretend like he's framing everything for his final days so he can show what a great job he did when we realize he's been the worst president this country has ever seen. Obama Ebola is the best video ever? Well, that's a really nice thing to say. Thank you very much from Under the Cheese. I appreciate that. If you haven't seen my new video, it's pretty cool. It talks about where we're headed as a nation, and it's not pleasant. It talks about some pretty heavy subjects, like Barack Obama triggering nuclear war or World War III, with his relations with Vladimir Putin falling apart and our country going into a colder war than we ever had. So let me go to my YouTube site and pull that up in case you haven't seen it. I want you all to be able to link to it because it's great editing and production is top notch. Wow, that's great. Thank you. Obama Ebola is a video that I did recently, and you can click on it right now. I am a genius. I can't get any cross-linking. I can't get any cross-linking from...
And bring it back home.
Yeah. From the NSA-dominated YouTube. So because of that, they've used all of their skills to suppress free speech in America. And you guys are the emissaries of a third party. I leave it to you to start telling everybody you can about what we're doing. That lip video cracks me up. I know. And the lip sync is off. I purposely made it hokey and retro. I've not been around the world. I have only been to Mexico and Canada. And it's been a kind of a short-lived experience. I don't really have that worldly thing. I'm not here to help the rest of the world like Obama. I'm here to help America. I'm an American, okay? I will do everything I can to lead by example around the world, but I'm not going to help other countries as much as he thinks we're going to help them. Hello, Sarah. How are you? Wow, you got some food there.
Yeah.
You went to a little Friday night party, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Sarah's in. Lovely.
Hi,
I love that
everybody.
top. God, that's gorgeous. Where'd you get that?
I got it at a thrift store.
Wow. What can you find at a thrift store better than this? This is amazing. That must be like a $200 designer outfit. Look at that. Amazing. See, we buy a very affordable stuff, but it's always top notch. Yeah.
I did.
Oh, thank you for the cookies and all the candy. I'm going to go say hello to somebody in the other room, and
I
I'll be...
didn't give that person any of that, so you can if you want, or you can
Okay.
just keep it for yourself.
I'm going to keep it for myself. Okay, thank you. I'll be right
Those
back.
are peanut butter balls.
Oh, it looks so good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You get a light blue on the outfit. A blue light. You really think there's stains on this? There could be, I guess, but it's okay. Yeah, a ruby necklace would be nice. Are you going to send me one? I have all the ideas. I'm 30. Actually, my day ran like clockwork, and at least I'm here. Actually, I'm not 30 minutes late. I always come in the show at 6:30. Almost always. I had a pearl necklace and it broke. It had pearl and glass, but it broke, so I have to restring it. I suppose so, 478. I don't want to get a blue light. I'll just assume it hasn't been. I'll assume it was too small because, like, look. It's like, fits me perfectly. There's my little tummy even. And then these are green pants. So it fits me perfectly almost. And I think it just someone got rid of it because it was just a little bit too small on them. Because they probably gained a lot of weight bigger than my little tummy, and that's what happened is they're like, oh, I can't fit this. Like, especially I can still put that through. Yes, Sofa, some of them are. There we go. There we go. See? That's me perfect. It's made for a little shorter lady. I know. I can't make myself shorter. But I still fit it without being short. I was thinking I could sew on like a patch of black velvet right here. Right down there. Because the outside is okay. It fits me okay. But, yeah. Yeah, but like a little piece of black velvet would look really good right down there. Okay. When do we start tipping coins? What? Lower the DMVs for you in 2017 and 2018. If I were elected, I could try that, but I'm not going to make you a promise. Thank you. Oh yeah, a long red skirt would look good with it. I don't have a red skirt. But I do have a skirt with some red in it. But I thought it even looked good with green pants, especially for the Christmas season. You mean Sarah? Oh. Well, let's focus on getting David elected. You're going to take off your pants and jacket? Okay. No, we've never watched American Pie. I'm looking at the chat room. Ha ha ha, 4789. Yeah, it would look good with jeans or a black pair of pants or, you know.
Yeah, that's a fantastic top. That's beautiful.
I went shopping for other people there, and I actually found something for someone that's really hard to shop for.
Great.
The person in the other room. And
excellent. That's really good.
But I'm not going to show you or that person.
Okay.
So it'll be a surprise for both
I can't wait. Wow. You look good together, do we?
Yeah, great. Especially David with the red in his tie. I was trying to match that red.
Wintard, my teeth look great. Thank you. I made a few adjustments. Yeah. Spray paint didn't work. I tried spray paint. That was dangerous. I went with press-on veneers.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, it's a great alternative, and I'm telling you, I don't mind them for about 4 or 5 hours a day. But if I were to wear them full time, you can't really eat with them, honestly. It's difficult.
Oh.
I look at these beautiful
cookies. So I couldn't
cookies.
have lunch.
You'd have to.
Where I normally have
you
lunch.
might have to pull your lunch teeth off, yeah. That's the one thing. But it'd be great for just presenting yourself as a perfect teeth look, if you want that look. Because I decided I didn't want to put $6,000 into caps and professional tooth replacement. But I'm still getting my regular teeth fixed up. So
$6,000 for just an orthodontist.
Oh, I know, yeah. But the $650 for the veneers is a lot better deal.
Plus a periodontist, plus a prosthodontist.
Oh, I know. It's
but
tough.
I'm still gonna.
I can bite my lip though. I can go like that.
I know. Should I can take my fangs out and just have blank spaces right there.
Oh God, no. Something you can actually eat with these if you get better at it. I mean, I could eat chocolate shakes or health drinks with this, no problem.
Protein shakes.
But chewing a pea presented a problem last night. I had this pea in my mouth. It's like I can't eat it.
No, do not cut back on medication if you've been diagnosed manic.
Guess 314.
Because you will just go back into your manic depressive state.
You need to ease off of prescription meds.
No, don't ease off of prescription meds if you've been diagnosed with that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm just saying if you're going to go off something, you don't want to jump off of it. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying follow your doctor's advice.
Follow your doctor's advice. Yeah. I don't say that. All right. This is the deal. I believe that we as a nation right now are drifting way off target of what we wanted. We wanted some traction in our economy, wanted American jobs. We didn't get any. The American people are still wondering why we're still outsourcing products or jobs overseas. The irony is when Barack Obama was asked, do you think the government is responsible for creating jobs? He was not reading off a teleprompter at the time, and it pretty much ruined our entire country. Because had anybody in his staff been there, they would have realized, of course, the government should create some jobs. How else are we going to have some sort of a revival like the New Deal under FDR, who created lots of American government jobs? How else are we going to get the economy back on track initially? And granted, the government shouldn't do everything. Business is very, very important. And we need to realize that 60% of the job growth in America will come from small businesses. But Barack Obama said, well, make no mistake about it. Let's be clear. The government is not responsible for creating jobs. Consequently, none of that money that the Federal Reserve expanded out in 6-point-some-odd trillion dollars that they loaned out in the past 6 years, it's 6 trillion, I mean it. Not $1 went to American businesses creating American jobs. Well, sure, Caterpillar got $7 billion from the Fed, and they went ahead and invested $1.5 billion in a Madagascar aluminum mining business that didn't even exist.
They just created a company on paper, and they didn't ask to go look at the mines or anything.
The CEO of Caterpillar, who, by the way, is still the CEO after losing $1.5 billion, did not in any way vet the information. It was a scam by an Indian and a Chinese company that was pretending to have an aluminum mining business, and they sold it to Caterpillar for $1.5 billion, and we got lots of loss. This is not blah blah. This is America losing all kinds of opportunity because of a lame duck president and an idiotic Republican-led Congress now. Now, they couldn't overturn the decision on the Keystone Pipeline. That shows you how lame duck the Congress is now. Talk now that maybe they're going to go ahead and say, well, maybe we need to let these people in so that Republicans can get cheaper labor for big business. So Republicans aren't in your court either. They don't care about getting rid of this terrible scourge of illegals coming in, draining our services, our education money, our medical costs. All that's going to increase now. And Barack Obama mindlessly said that these illegal aliens were going to somehow increase the tax base. So in other words, they jumped the border, they're willing to commit crimes, but they're going to be good, solid taxpayers. Wow. How completely naive can anyone possibly be? All right. Thank you. I'm going to stop talking.
Oh, you don't have to. I think you're saying a lot of valid points.
Yeah.
I mean, when we're giving money to all these other countries.
Okay. Rewind has just said that the Food and Drug Administration has...
And From Under the Cheese has something.
And From Under the Cheese has something. 60 minutes.
Say that.
Okay, I'll hold that on the side. The idea of an FDA approving a new hard-to-abuse hydrocodone painkiller is an interesting move. You know, anything hard to abuse is probably not as strong. People are still going to seek hydrocodone. We'll talk about those two ideas in just a second. Let's take a look at the feed from that in our show here. Let me bring it in. Okay, this is coming out of the CBS News track. Hysingla ER. So you better Hysingla out to ER if you have a lot of pain. Food and Drug Administration on Thursday approved the first hard to abuse version of the powerful painkiller hydrocodone. All right, prescription use. That's the weird thing about prescriptions. You know, it's a big scam for doctors to make lots of money, I think. And this link just came in.
The only thing less popular than putting money into banks is putting money into the auto industry.
So 18% are in favor.
Well, this is when Steve Kropp was interviewing Obama, and he was laughing.
You're sitting here and you are laughing about some of these problems. Are people going to look at this and say, I mean, he's sitting there just making jokes about money. How do you deal with it? I mean, explain your mood and your laughter.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be
a punch drunk?
No, there's got to be a little gallows humor to get you through the day.
Gallows humor to get you through the day. Wow, thank you for that link, Mad Dog. This is the president we've got who's been lying through his teeth, and he had gallows humor because he knows that he's basically taking our country down the toilet. And we Americans, we have an opportunity right now to reverse his decisions, but if the Republicans don't do it, we are going to be looking at a third party. There's no other choice, everybody. It all leads to a third party in 2016. We've never done anything where we would be posing naked, ever. You're still working on suing the state of Pennsylvania for mistreating me by saying I was a threat to my coworkers. Peter Goosey. I did my job good, and I only wanted to work as a janitor, and they had me examined by a psychologist and said I had different personalities and all that. Wow, Peter. That's kind of screwed up, man. You had a good job as a janitor, and they basically sent you to a psych ward? That sucks, man. Here's a guy who wants to work, and they're taking him away from his chosen profession of being a janitor. Obama broke his script reading act. Yeah. And his real true self shines through from under the cheese. Yeah, thank you. So you would vote for me, Sniper? Thank you very much. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'll try to honor that. And I know you weren't a guy who ever threatened me. I know that. All right. I'm not full of anything. I'm a good guy who's always tried to do the right thing. And when I got stomped on in college, when I raised important questions to my professors, I was laughed at. The professors would crack jokes about me, and 500 people would turn around and laugh at me. And I was trying to help modernize the education system by actually trying to learn. And it didn't work. So I left that whole world of academia. I'm a great guy with great ideas. Obama doesn't have any clue as to where we're headed. If you're looking for a target for your anger, he definitely is a person you need to be angry at. But he's not the real problem. The real problem involves the people that are running his entire candidacy, are running his presidency. He really is just a guy who likes money. He and Michelle are both padding their accounts right now, getting out of the White House, and they'll be running as fast as they can from this country. No doubt they'll settle somewhere in the Cayman Islands where they have all their money. He's not no, he doesn't even have a clue. He reads off a teleprompter. Nothing he says to you mindless Democrats is something he actually wrote. You remember his speech in Denver that landed flat? Everybody said, wow, that wasn't some great speech. That was kind of a joke. Well, that was the only speech he's ever written when he accepted the nomination for the presidency. I didn't need to change degrees. My goal was to run it for politics. My chosen profession was going to be a political figure in America. UCLA crapped all over me. They told me I had to sit there and listen to Marxism. They told me I had to sit there and listen and regurgitate Marxist ideals from their professors. I don't have to prove it. It's in the record. I actually sat down with my department heads at a couple of universities and said, do you seriously think I have to sit here and listen to Marxist ideology as the primary source of wisdom in America or in any other country? And they said, yeah, you do. I said, I'm out of here. I'm too intelligent for that. No, I actually know more than they did. I was already fully briefed on the ideology that's evolved into what is today Marxism. It's a corrupt system. There isn't one communist government that isn't corrupt. He doesn't have a mastery of speaking. He's a simple teleprompter reader. I don't make that many errors in my speech. I don't read on a teleprompter once on our show. Yeah, I saw that article. It's just BS. It's not proven science. It's junk science, rewind videos. There's no proof that marijuana or secondary marijuana smoke is dangerous to other people. That's just ridiculous. No one's ever died from marijuana smoke. You know, frankly, I don't think anybody's as bad as Obama right now. He's the kingpin of incompetence in our country. Well, whatever he is, he's not really that good at what he does. Because if he was good at what he does, he would come up with new ideas. He doesn't have one single new idea at all. They're all borrowed, all copied. Yeah, it's a scare tactic. They don't want the American people to realize that legalization will help our country. They want people to just be afraid of marijuana like it's some dangerous thing. It wouldn't exist in our world if it was so dangerous. It wouldn't have been so prolific everywhere. People are smoking it. There's over 60% of the population that smoke marijuana. 58% want to legalize it in the United States. The Democrats and Republicans have a very big problem with their upcoming campaigns because the American people want legalization and they don't want it. Even in the state of Washington, the Democrats were so incompetent that it took 20 months for them to start selling marijuana in recreational dispensaries. 20 months just to get that rolling. This is on the heels of them getting rid of liquor stores, state-run liquor stores, where they lost $100 million in revenue per year. The state of Washington now wants to charge 75% more for every gram of marijuana. Like that's going to improve business. They won't make enough sales to even make a dent in their incredible deficit here in the state of Washington. The debt in Washington is $90 billion. The debt in California is $542 billion. The debt in the United States of America is approaching $18 trillion. And this is crazy. And you people have to realize if you're going to keep voting Republican and Democrat, you're never going to solve these problems. You're never going to build jobs for American people. They don't care. The elitists don't care. I never was against legalization. I didn't hate the fact that they did. I'll tell you what I did say. The legalization campaign in Washington was actually designed by prosecuting attorneys. They wanted to pass that so that they could arrest people for small amounts of marijuana in their system, so that they could take their driver's license away. That's why they passed it. That's what I was saying, Sniper, not what you're saying now. All right. I believe that we will have a woman president, yes. I believe we might be sitting watching the first woman president right now. Yes. I believe Sarah has the mental acumen and logical framework of thinking to actually be an excellent president.
I think I have the capability of being a president too. I think, of course I'm never going to compete against you.
Well, right now we don't need to compete. We can work together. But the thing is...
I couldn't hold a candle to you.
Well, thank you very much. No, you offer a tremendously different approach. Sarah is more of a deductive thinker, and I'm more of an inductive thinker. My approach is more of an attack style. Hers is a very...
Oh, sometimes I can attack.
You can, but you're very diplomatic, whereas I'm much more in your face, to the point. So I have a totally different style, and it's not that I'm better or worse, it's just that we offer different approaches to the same problem. All right, let's move on. I'm going to actually take a break, and then I'll be right back, and Sarah then can take a break. I'll be right back. Thank you for loving me.
I do love you, yes. Yes,
that looks really good. I'm going to have a bite of that.
Yeah, especially those peanut butter ones.
Yeah,
I love those.
Right now.
You'll eat them all, I know. I'm too quiet and soft. I need more aggression. I can be aggressive. Sit down right now. Before I have a cow. I told you, sit down. That's about it. What do you have to say for yourself? No. I know, because I have that eye that goes up like a teacher. It's hard to control now that I got it. I know. You need to be... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Sniper. I'm not yelling at you. I was just showing people that I could be aggressive with world leaders if I had to be. Alright? And they would soon realize I'll listen to them, but I won't necessarily do what they want me to do. Oh, sometimes I am. 195. Sometimes I can be. It depends on how people treat me. Then I can treat them back. I am being nice. Exactly. Except I didn't always like the Iron Lady. David is coming in. I know you like David more than me. David will be in later. He's my favorite writer. I like Ray Bradbury. I know you have a lot of fans too. Don't worry about it.
No, you got a lot.
I mean, It's all good. The thing is, I liked Ray Bradbury, and I like Catherine Patterson, and I do like a little Dr. Seuss. I actually went to the orthodontist today here at DJ Bad Boy E. You really want me to? Well, I am wearing that shirt that is capable of. There you go. H.G. Wells. So he's pretty good. An orthodontist is someone that puts on braces. Special dentist. Thanks. I know, go vomit. It's okay. Because I didn't just go to any dentist. Your San Francisco love affair? Troll variety, should I do that? You're going to ask if I had it? Now you know, Sir Quack. Yes, it did hurt. I've had it for many years. Alright. You're welcome. I don't know how to read you, Sniper. Sometimes you say things that seem nice, and sometimes you say things that seem really, really mean. So, I don't know how to read you. I do not have any tattoos at all. I try to, Virus, but I don't do a great job. A little bit, Lepra. I mean, I got a nice new outfit top. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
No,
awesome.
they don't cover braces.
Not at all?
So
It's
no.
out of pocket, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm urging you to go for what I did because
I'm thinking
really
of
happy
doing
with
that
it.
for a few years.
Yeah.
And then I could go do this.
Yeah, then you could do it.
But
then.
it depends on how much bone I lose.
Yeah.
I
well,
mean,
you know,
my bone loss could be.
bone loss is it doesn't occur necessarily when you keep your teeth at a faster rate than when you lose your teeth. So I mean,
It depends, because really bone loss is caused by the germs that get underneath the teeth, between
Right.
the tooth and the gum. So bone loss can occur when you keep your teeth, but it can also occur when you lose your teeth.
well then try
And
to
then
keep a clean mouth at all times.
Plus,
you know.
plus I learned. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay,
And
we'll
actually,
talk.
I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do.
Okay, good. The nice thing about
Does your insurance cover braces? Okay.
the nice thing about having a show where we can talk to people every night is we can discuss issues that are really pertinent to today's world that we live in. One of those issues is highlighted here. A story about NATO jets scrambling more than 400 times this year for Russian intercepts. This looks to me like Barack Obama is engaged in something very, very nefarious. He has put us at risk with Russia, and it's pretty much why I did the Obama Ebola video, because he's put us at risk with Russia, and our country is now very close to nuclear war with Russia. I hate to say it, folks. I would say that the nuclear time clock has gotten closer than ever to the top of the hour, yet they haven't changed the nuclear time clock since Barack Obama has done all these terrible things, calling Putin a jackass, grandstanding around in a cavalier style. Sarah looks lovely. Yes, she's very pretty.
Thank you, 356.
I have to talk about your king because he doesn't deserve to be a king. He deserves to be ousted, impeached. And I'm sorry the Republicans are not strong enough to impeach him. Frankly, I'm really, really shocked that this recent vote against the Keystone Pipeline went the opposite what I thought it was going to go. I'm not lying at all. I've told you the truth. Every single show, I tell you the truth. I treat Sarah right. Yeah.
David is brutally honest. What a great future presidents. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, thanks, Rod. Hi. You just finished your cast. Wait.
It is patriotic. Yeah.
I don't think that's the same Rodney. Rodney. I think this is a totally different character. I
Yeah.
don't think it's, unless he called in to us to prove it's the same one.
Yeah, so far,
Then
you're not
that's
Rodney.
the only
yeah.
way.
You're not the Rodney I thought you were last night.
Yeah, we saw this guy last night, Rod, not Rodney.
Yeah.
I don't even think this guy knows our phone number.
You're on the heels of a show where we were constantly being bothered by this character named Rodney. Not you, but we were constantly bothered by him for about 8 months, and we finally just said, hey, man, you're not welcome here. And that was the end of his call-ins, finally. It took a long time, though. He didn't take no for an answer. So Russian hacking is threatening U.S. national security, right? This war with Russia has led us down a very, very, very dark road. Very, very serious problems could occur. Obama's done nothing to repatriate and reach out. And
Lepra, does it help that I actually I endorse vaccinations, at least for small children. Maybe not the flu vaccine. I think that's on a case-by-case basis. But I do believe that vaccinations help young people. Thanks, Rod.
okay, I believe both would lose, Flyman. You know, humanity would lose. Will lose, and not would, will lose. Both would lose, humanity will lose. There's no question about it. A nuclear war would be devastating to the earth, most likely would kill off almost every single living creature. Even if it was a type of bomb like a neutron bomb, which kills human beings and leaves the structures of buildings perfectly fine, even that would be absolutely devastating to humanity. The thing about humanity that is struggling right now is the ability to communicate. And there are people, players, intermediary players that are preventing fair communication. And I've acknowledged this is going on in politics right now. The media is stopping the open discussion of ideas among people. You guys normally don't ever... I'll take that. You guys normally don't even have a chance to talk unless you go into a show like this. Okay. Hey, Paul. How are you? Hi, Paul.
True.
Oh, wow.
I will be removing
Great.
people from press conferences.
Yeah, well, we've been
that-
trying this for a long time. What country are you from?
that have nothing, aren't actually asking any kind of questions, and that have only derogatory things to
good.
say about me or David.
Good. So you're a Canadian and you like our show. You know, I'm very popular among Canadians. And I want to have
Correct.
good relations with Canada. I really do. I want to also... Go ahead. Great. Wow.
I walk pretty well, 174.
Well, we got a caller from Canada, folks, named Paul. Is that right, Paul? I figured that. You know, when many people have a problem like Tourette's, it's hard to control because they like to pick the best, most opportune time to say bad words. And we try not to cater to those people at all times. But sometimes if you want to really call in, feel free. We are available, 707 your ATP. I've learned the hard way. Guest 832.
That's because
Yeah.
I love you.
There was a guy with Tourette's syndrome one year. I went to Wendy's and they used to have a salad bar. And he had this terrible sneezing Tourette's disorder. And if you're suffering from Tourette's and you have a sneezing disorder, don't hang around the salad bar, please. Right after that, they got rid of the salad bar at Wendy's and it's never been the same. I haven't even gone in since the salad bar was taken out.
We already gave you our phone number, 707 YOURATP.
You've got to figure it out, folks. It's the alphanumeric pad on your phone. So we make it a little harder for you to actually call. All right. That's not funny. It's not funny to even think about a person sneezing on salad bars. But this guy had this terrible problem where he would sneeze and say bad words at the same time. It was like I was telling one of my family members who's no longer living because they ate at the salad bar.
Just called you. No, we cannot watch 23 seconds of the American Pie trailer.
I don't really care if it is that guy, frankly. Yes, the founder was a Freemason, square compass, I heard, yeah. And I heard that Wendy was his daughter. Yeah, and he passed away, though. Wendy's is now in the number 2 position, assuming the missionary position for a takeover of McDonald's. But we don't know if they're going to do it.
That would work. Just take out the dashes, 216.
Lepra, that's a bannable offense here. I'm going to go ahead and purge your statement. And anytime you try to do that again, we will ban you from the show.
Yeah, don't ever say that.
Don't ever question my position as president.
Don't ever say I would be better than David. Yeah, it's a bannable offense.
It's a bannable offense in our room because what it's trying to do is demoralize me. And I've spent the past 8 years building a campaign which makes total sense for America, honing ideas, delivering a message. Just because you're attracted to Sarah doesn't mean she should be president. Okay?
Right, exactly. David has all these great ideas.
Right. Not to mention the fact that I am the guy who is needed to break up a very corrupt system that we have here. It'd be better if a guy led and a woman follows. And I believe that in order to stop the kind of levels of corruption we're seeing in government right now, we're going to need some Justice Department reviews of various honesty levels. Lie detector tests should be performed at certain high levels in our country right now. We've got a lot of corruption that's part of the problem, and they are leeching money out of the system right now. Leeching money. It's like a sieve. Sarah and I are both good at analyzing budgets, and I think we could do a good job of targeting the waste and red tagging and yellow tagging all the critical areas that we can work with Congress to cut back on. Thanks, Busy, but you don't even know who Sarah is. You can't read Sarah by her face. She's got a really good poker face. Weren't you really good in that poker game we were in one day?
No, I sucked.
She's like holding her aces in her hand. It's like,
I got aces! I think I even said that out loud.
You like to be poker face?
No. Oh, yes, I have my ears pierced, but I'm not wearing earrings.
I've never had my ears pierced. I've had no piercings and no tattoos. I do have a couple of identifiable marks on my body that would make me different than a clone. So a person would have to replicate my exact appearance in order to prevent cloning me if I were to become president.
Well, 252, you realize you don't need it on your computer anymore? There's so many free sites out there.
Okay, but watch this quick. Okay, I watched it. It's great. Thank you. And they were singing, bye, bye, Miss American.
Oh, baby, you're so good.
Oh. I thought this was going to be the American Pie song.
No, it's the American Pie movie.
Oh, I thought this was Don McLean going, and they were singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. That's a sad song for me. I get all broken up when I think about it.
Sarah would serve as David's vice president. I mean, there's another person on the horizon that we're looking at.
Are we?
To serve in the vice presidential seat, but we're not revealing that information.
We haven't been approached by this person yet, other than somebody claiming to be that person in our chat room. But,
no, there's another person too.
Oh, okay.
2 people that we're considering.
Okay, good. All right. I saw the smoking gun.
Definitely not
yes.
488. Definitely not.
Yeah, the smoking gun. I've seen portions of it. I'm still winding my way through it on Netflix. It's supposedly a really, really in-depth portrayal of John F. Kennedy and his assassination.
I will run for president once David has served 2 terms. So you guys need to get David elected.
Yeah.
Have him elected twice, and then I'll run.
Let's make sure that we have a strong 8-year run and fix the country. If we can do 4 years, I'm not going to jump into my office running for re-election like Obama did. I'm going to start fixing the problems in America right off the top. All right, take care. Don't ever come back again. Thanks for the comedy. A lot of these people, they don't even understand how important a third party would be to our country. They don't even get it. They still believe that somehow the Democrats are going to pull a magic rabbit out of their butt. Or the Republicans are going to somehow get a majority in Congress that could actually do something. They don't get it. They just don't get it. They still believe that, well, give them another couple years and they're going to do it. I think the Democrats and Republicans should get together just to congratulate them on their stupidity. Good job, yeah. Well, they do get together. They get together to sign their checks and give each other raises. They get together to get money from Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and all these big contributors who are constantly controlling our political process. I'm going to put you out of your misery, buddy. A lot of times people come in here, they want a wax figure at Madame Tussauds in Washington, D.C., Keith. I know. I would never allow myself to be a wax figure. And my point is, I'm a credible, honest, down-to-earth person who doesn't in any way get swayed by money. Money doesn't do anything to me. If somebody dangled $1 million in front of me, I'd say, get the hell out of my face. I won't do anything for your money. I am not prone to that. It's going to be very hard for you to find somebody who is not materialistic in our society, but I am one of those people that honestly never got hooked on money. 200 million wouldn't even make a difference. None of these casts are pre-recorded brews. We're all real. We're all live. Everything's real time, man. We've done 1,800 plus broadcasts, 3 hours a night, 6 days a week for the past 6 years. It doesn't get any more real and interactive than this. I started in a state election, and recently, 513, I encountered a tremendous amount of corruption. I got over 4,000 votes here in Washington in the recent primary. But the fact is, most of my signs that were so critical to my election and my electability were stolen. 90% of my signs were taken down. Sarah and I would drive around putting up signs every day, and the next day it would be taken down.
They wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't be there. So I'm really concerned that we cannot act locally and think globally. Even if we were to start acting locally and thinking globally, it's not going to actually lead to any change. Yeah, I'd pull him out. I think you're good. I think you're good without him.
I think they just slid forward. That's what happened.
Really? Okay. So I say think and act globally on a national level. Yes. Ryan, Utah. Yeah, hey Ryan. How's it going?
The new purple line.
Ryan, I'm really strong against what Obama's doing right now on immigration. We can fast track naturalize these people if we give them a chance to pay a fee overseas in their home country. Now, what I'm suggesting is that people who want to become U.S. citizens would go home to their home country to take the 6-question test at the U.S. Embassy. Then they'd come back as a U.S. citizen. Would that work for you?
It should be easier for people.
Okay, good. Because I don't want these people to gather at the border now that they think that they've got a free ride to amnesty. And this 5 million move with work visas will definitely initiate a series of border crises, I can assure you.
Then there was one person here in Washington State who actually worked for the farmers, or for the farm workers, and actually said this is a way to keep the wages for other farm workers lower, because then they just have all these workers come in from overseas, so they flood the market with workers so that the workers that currently exist don't ever get higher wages.
Right. And that's the thing. These Republicans are probably not going to pass this entire reversal of immigration laws. They're probably not going to gather quorum to stop Obama, because the big business interests want illegal aliens in our country, cheap labor. And it's hurting our services, it's draining our taxes, and it's ruining our country.
And notice that he does this right before the new Congress is actually sworn in. All the Republican Congress is sworn in.
Yeah.
because the Republicans after January will have control of both houses.
Right.
And yet he's pushing this immigration reform before January, while there's still Democratic control of at least one house.
Okay, this is the deal. Good point. Somebody just said the Republicans will make trade-offs for the pipeline. Guest 518. Thank you. Are you still on, Ryan? Hello?
I'm still here.
Okay.
My concern is 36,000 of these immigrants are criminals, rapists,
Yeah.
murderers.
Right. Exactly.
It's alarming.
It's alarming, and he actually released those 36,000 about 6 months ago from our local prison systems. They're in our system,
Yes,
and I've heard that. I'm angry at it too, Ryan. I really am. All right, great. Dave, can you put out some sort of signs and do a stakeout to see? No, Bo rules. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to waste my time with corruption in our area. I'm not prosecuting these people. If they want to say they're sorry, that's one thing. But believe me, when they destroy the democratic process, the Democrats were basically crapping all over themselves. They were crapping where they eat. I'm not in favor of illicit sex acts. No, of course not. Somebody says, are you in favor of polygamy? I'm not. No, I'm not. But I don't believe the government really should dictate who should get married and who should not get married. I think the government should get out of all of the marriage laws, personally.
Yeah, I mean, why should the government be involved in people's personal relationships? Why should we have marriage licenses? I mean, I understand as far as, children, custody issues, if one parent dies, but that could be solved with a birth certificate and with a will.
Right.
I mean, if you say, oh, the child custody goes to the two people listed on the birth certificate, and then after that it would go to the will of those two people, or at least one of those people if they had a will. That's
a legal situation. It's
exactly.
not the
all
government
of these are
intruding
individuals'
on us.
legal situations where, as what they have now, it's like a marriage license has all these. It's like overriding all these other independent legal situations that should really be looked at on an issue by issue basis. And like we were talking about healthcare directives, you can go out and get an advanced care directive is what it's called.
Yeah, advanced care directive.
And I encourage all of you to do so, even if you're not married, to talk about to get an advanced care directive. You decide who you want to make your medical decisions for you in case you become incapacitated and unable to do so.
What's your thoughts on the sex behavior in the ghetto? That's a really weird question. I don't want to dictate any individual freedom. I don't want to tell people what to do. I'm not like the Democrats who want to mandate things. But I had a very important response to Sarah earlier. The Democrats are trying to gain control by allowing illegals to vote, right? Well, I argue these people are neither going to vote nor pay taxes. Most of them are just here for a free ride. So I think the Democrats have misjudged this entire move to create voters out of illegal aliens. And I also believe that many people who are Hispanic background don't want illegals taking their job. Many of them who are second-generation Mexican Americans don't want illegals coming in here and just ripping into their job opportunities. So that's another factor to think about. Well, I believe we'll be able to pull those votes toward a third party. I really believe that we can aggregate people together in a common goal here to get everyone to work toward a sensible nation that controls its borders.
I have a question for you, Sir Quack. Would you be with that person if you didn't have a marriage license? I'm thinking the answer would be yes, because you enjoy being around that person and you like being around the person. So it's not that the marriage license ever hurt you. Did it do you any good?
You seriously,
is it necessary?
That's crazy, yeah.
Basically, that's why I guess I'm asking, is it really necessary?
Yeah, Sniper, that's a bannable offense, and I'm going to purge you, and I will ban you if you continue to demoralize me claiming I'm not a U.S. citizen. That is sickening. I stand very prideful of my U.S. citizenship, and anyone who questions it hasn't been to my About page. AmericasThirdParty.com/about. and just look at my birth certificate and tell me that that's a fake. Come on, seriously. I even can present the original copy to scientific experts. Nope. We actually share expenses here, and we are both an equal partner in this relationship. We originally met with the intent that we'd have more of a traditional relationship where a guy, has the final word. Seriously. But I don't really see it that way at all. We are pretty much, no, I'm not a scam artist, and that's a bannable offense. We see everything as an open opportunity to discuss. That's basically where we're coming from. And it won't be my way or the highway at all times. It's basically a two-way street. Everyone can get involved. I was originally a Californian. I was born in Los Angeles. And actually, I was born in Santa Monica, California. And that's right. And I will stand behind every document I've got on that page. Whereas Barack Obama, he cannot legitimately defend any of those documents. No one's been able to actually look at his long-form birth certificate that he presented in 2011 and then proceeded to attack a mythical creature named Osama bin Laden, which we never found out really was him.
I went to the closest
We never found that out.
university.
I cannot move back to Santa Monica. No, it's too costly to live in LA now. No, Santa Monica is a beautiful, man. I worked in a high-end area in Santa Monica later in life, and for 10 years I catered to the richest people in the world, standing right next to some of the poorest bag people in the world. It was a very strange experience. I worked right near a restaurant that was run by Wolfgang Puck. And every day I'd get these multimillionaires coming into my little shop I was running. And it was the strangest thing. It was standing there with bag people. And one time I got a conversation going on between a millionaire and a bag person. It was the most interesting conversation I've ever had. Three-way conversation.
I'm glad that you found the love of your life, Sir Quack.
Yeah, their government doesn't have a mind of their own. They are basically doing what they're told by very powerful monetary elitists. Well, we are being turned into a police state, guess 392. The fact is, our country is moving toward a police state, and in order to prevent that from happening, a vote for a third party would definitely be a move in the right direction. It'll be an interim step to prevent either a revolution or anarchy, and then ultimately a total police state. A third party will prevent all that. We'll give you guys a chance to talk.
You must be a good person, Sir Quack. All the good people are attracted to teachers.
Your election will be easier. Will you read my repost? Where's your repost? Let me take a look. You're getting a mail order bride? Okay. I'm a Sofa King is going to order a mail order bride from Australia. Yeah, I don't see your repost. You want to repost it again? Oh, it's standing next to the mail order bride. No. It's hard to see chat in real time when you go back. It's hard to hold the thing because everyone's putting new chat in the chat room. No, I will actually prosecute Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid. Speaker of the House Boehner, he's doing the best he can with his limited capability. But Nancy Pelosi will be facing all kinds of charges once I finish doing the detailed investigation into Barack Obama's background. And misuse of government vehicles, using planes, military planes to fly her husband and her son around the country was a terrible violation. She should be prosecuted for that. I don't clip nails on cam, no. I've never.
Sarah.
I'm not a person who would do that.
I'm sorry.
No, you do whatever you want. I mean, this is a free world.
Care.
Yeah. I don't pick my nose on cam. I try not to do certain things.
The camera's not on my feet. So.
Well, we could get a camera on your feet. I'm sure there's guys with foot fetishes that would love to see that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, minorities do vote, but not as much as the Democrats think they will. So I agree with you there. No, she's just, handling her socks and airing her socks and, moving her socks around. She's not picking her toes. That would be the most horrible thing ever to do on camera.
Really?
Well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, doing a lot of things could be horrible on camera, but in a world where everyone sees everything and we just give them a limited caption of our life here on our show, it is kind of a bit weird to,
Just live my life.
No, because if I had like Google Glass right now and looked down, everyone would see what Sarah's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm thinking of getting a product like that so I could do 24/7 broadcasting. I think it'd be really cool, except for, of course, bathroom time. But when I cook, it'd be
People
great.
could just watch your face. You could get one of those GoPro cameras, or the cameras that hang out here.
Yeah,
at
you
your
can do
face.
that. But I don't want it to look at me. That's the point.
Why wouldn't you want people to look at you? That's what they're doing right now.
Well, okay, maybe we have a camera looking at me, but I'd like to have a camera facing out because I do all these interesting things all day, and you guys don't even know what I do. And when I make a gourmet meal with limited ingredients, I have to set a camera up, a tripod. It's kind of a pain. When I could just put a Google Glass on and go out there and just start shooting and go, yeah, this is what I'm doing, folks. Watch what I do and you learn. Because I save a tremendous amount of money on my food budget.
You need a camera.
I'm a marathon guy. I'm in it for the long haul. I would not have been doing this for the past 6 years, every day, without any break. We even went on a vacation and did our shows from Wi-Fi outlets like McDonald's. I wouldn't do that if I didn't have the stamina to be your president. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have the energy at my age to lead this nation. Because I'm 54 years old. I've seen guys that are barely able to walk at 54. Hey, what's going on? Kansas City, okay, Kansas City. Okay. Kansas City, what's up? Are you're not who I think you are?
That's me, Elid.
Okay,
Hello,
good.
how
Good.
you doing?
I'm doing okay. What's your concern right now? Is it the immigration bill that's pissing you
My
off?
concern is MGOs.
Okay. I look 35. Thank
I
you.
mean,
NGOs, what?
And
Monsanto. Is
Monsanto.
basically got the.
Hear this, folks? Hear this?
What's that?
That's happened before on our show. Anytime somebody calls in, they're knocked off the air when they talk about pertinent issues. GMOs, it's a hot subject right now. The Democrats are not leading on this issue.
I found out something about GMOs today.
Tell me. What
The
was it?
coolest thing
Thank you.
ever.
Yeah.
You want to hear it?
Go ahead.
All wheat,
Mm-hmm.
wheat
Yeah, all wheat.
is GMO free at this moment.
No, that's what she told you. Now, she told you that because aerial spraying of wheat has been illegal since the inception of GMOs. So technically, that person is correct. You cannot aerial spray wheat anywhere because there's a law saying you cannot genetically modify wheat. That is just, at this point, very, very iffy because a lot of people are identifying genetically modified wheat particles in fields that were never, ever using those
No,
seeds.
those are corn.
Well, I know what you're hearing.
Go.
But I'll do more research on this, yes.
Research, because I've heard that they're doing that with corn.
Okay. That's good to know.
The corn products are being all GMO. Basically, you can't find any non-GMO corn because the corn fields are all GMO, and then the corn products get transferred, and then they're all GMO. But that's why I read all.
Good.
I can bring you a
Thumbs up.
booklet about that.
I'm not disputing it. I
I'm
know
gonna read
the
it. I'm
laws
gonna
are there.
research
I know the
this.
laws are there, but I believe
know.
Monsanto's been cheating, and this guy was probably knocked off the air because he's
I mean, the
talking about
person that-
GMOs. Let's talk about GMOs. Let's talk about the negative aspects. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. This has been happening a few times on our show and privately when I get into a great conversation in Kansas City. But you're concerned about GMOs. I'm concerned about GMOs. Did you hear what Sarah just said? Hello. She's absolutely right. Sarah's right. Yeah, I'm listening.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the wheat has not been genetically modified in open areas, but haven't they done testing on genetically modified wheat? I know Monsanto's got fields of this stuff.
I read some about that. I don't know for sure.
All right. Well, let's look up genetically modified wheat and find out where they've been doing the testing.
Fuck Sarah's pussy.
I think Area 51 is probably your best place. We got another caller. Hang on.
GMOcompass.org. Here's one.
Let's take a
Right
look.
now, as of whatever
Hey,
the date
what's
this
going on?
is, GMO Compass, no genetically modified wheat is being grown anywhere in the world. Plans to
Okay.
introduce genetically modified wheat in North America
Okay,
were
let's talk about it.
abandoned in 2004.
I'm on the internet line and I got knocked off for saying something about a GMO.
I know, that's what happened.
GMO. Yeah, seriously, dude. Look at front line. The GMO.
I know.
They sued anybody who had like a GMO product in a plant field that they wanted to like say for instance, if you had a cornfield,
Right.
or you had a GMO,
Right.
that it came over into your field though, and you went ahead and processed it.
Yeah.
You had to pay them a subsidy, or not a subsidy, but you had to pay them a kickback. Basically, is what
Well,
it is.
if GMOs are being
Another
used,
thing-
yeah.
Can I say another thing?
Sure.
One more thing.
Yeah, you can talk all
Do you
night.
know what a fiduciary is?
Yeah.
Yes.
We do. What do you need to know? Because I'm not here to
Those
give you.
people are in your best interest. I did not know that until
Sure.
I was watching front line.
Yeah, fiduciaries.
No.
Yeah, well, you can actually assign fiduciaries to represent you remotely. But bottom line is,
Well,
I want to talk about wheat here.
401ks.
What?
Hold on here. I'm still really unsure if wheat has been used in any genetically
Can you
modified.
read that?
I sure can. I can read lots of things on the internet, Sarah. There's a lot of websites that say that there's no GMOs in wheat. I mean, you can find a website that says there are GMOs in wheat. Not weed, wheat, okay? I don't even have a clue about genetically modified marijuana, but seriously. Somebody wants to know if you were in Metallica, Guns N' Roses, or Scorpions. Are you a rocker?
I'm from Kansas City.
But
That's where I'm from.
you sound like a rocker. A lot of people are saying you sound like Joe Walsh.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
I said
I paid
wheat.
for my. I tell you what, I was at a Joe Walsh concert. He was so drunk they had to give him the money back
Oh,
because he was so drunk.
well, you know, it's not
Anyway,
uncommon.
GMOs, that's a bad thing, and another thing, bad thing is
Here's Bumble
fiduciary.
right here.
I love your show.
Thank you so much, Kansas City. I'm sorry that you lost your connection earlier. I think it was probably the NSA.
No, seriously, dude, they cut me off. I tried calling you back like twice,
Yeah.
3 times, and it wouldn't go through.
They don't want anyone to talk about GMOs. GMOs it's a driving story here, and we need to bring people in because they are lying about the no GMO wheat. I'd show you an article. But I
No,
can't.
seriously, they are a strong
Reluctant
arm.
there.
Basically, they, I could consider them basically to harassment. If you talk shit, sorry, I didn't mean to
No, that's
say that
okay,
word.
yeah.
But if you talk
See
pretty
this.
about them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway,
Okay,
I love you.
thank you, man.
Take care, bro.
You too. Take care.
All right, dude.
Later. Okay, people are really concerned. This link that was just brought in, large amount of cannabis purchased on the street is in fact genetically modified. Wow. UK has another link about genetically modified cannabis. I'm looking at an article right here that was just brought in. Monsanto GMO wheat found in Montana as the Oregon probe ends. I'm telling you, Sarah, they've been doing aerial spraying of chips of wheat. Wheat will replicate, even if they're the smallest of fragments. Thank you. That wheat could actually crossbreed with wheat in our fields, and we won't even know it until it's too late. So there's an article in Bloomberg, folks, that was just brought in that counters what Sarah just said. I'm telling you, you can look at both sides, but the official law has been no genetically modified wheat has been allowed into the seed pool. But the reality is they're aerially spraying this stuff just to spread it. Monsanto is essentially got plans like you wouldn't believe. And they're getting away with unbelievable atrocities. You know, reversing a study that was very, very scientifically vetted was the most insidious thing they've ever did. They took a toxicology journal and had them denounce a study that was done on GMO wheat. GMOs were fed to rats, and the rats developed tumors. GMO could be killing the bees. Your question is a very good question. All right. Sarah's ready for a break. She's been, out and about all day. She should rest. No, I'm not here to discuss things based on an education. I don't believe in the caste system that's being formed right now, and people like Guest 216 is part of that. He's puppeting the same dogma that's pushed in universities, that you're stupid if you don't have a degree. That goes contrary to common sense. And intelligent thought can take place in any area, regardless of how many hoops you jump through to attain your knowledge. To say that a degree validates a person's intelligence is absolutely mindless. It's a generalization, and frankly, I don't think educated people are taught to make generalizations like that. But here we are, in a society that's turning into a class caste system, no different than the monarchies and feudalistic societies that existed in the English time, in medieval times. All right. My grandmother had a 5th grade education, and she raised 5 kids in North Dakota, and she died at the age of 47. But she had more street smarts and common sense than any human being out there, managed to raise 5 kids in a depression. And she encouraged her kids to go on and get higher education. But when my father said, David, why don't you consider going back? I went back. And I went back again, and I ran into the same wall of incredible corporate control, communist influence, and mindlessness at the top level of every university I went to. They're corporate owned, and they're using education right now to create a bubble in our economy. The next bubble that could turn into a huge mess in our nation's economy is the scholarship bubble. Right now, $1.1 trillion outstanding in FAFSA loans. That's huge. People aren't paying back their college education funds. FAFSA is going bankrupt. I'm serious. The personal credit card debt in America is close to $1.4 trillion now. A lot of people are just going broke, and these things are really going to cost us. If we don't get down to a simple plan for people to get a job within 6 weeks to 6 months of education, we're screwed. People can't afford to go into a long series of events. I gotta get rid of this guy. Long series of events like a 2-year program or a 4-year program just to get a job paying $20 an hour. That's true, Virus. Yeah. So a lot of people just want $20 an hour and they're set. Seriously. That's why a lot of people take civil service examinations and work at the county holding a sign saying slow and stop. Crony capitalism is screwed.
Okay, I will rephrase that. No genetically engineered wheat has been approved for U.S. farming.
Well, there you have it, yeah. They can still be dispensing it, and the thing about genetically modified food is it crossbreeds on its own. It's got a timetable all its own. There's nothing we can do to stop it once it's in our environment.
Yeah, you're right.
So we've got a real problem with GMOs, and I want all you people to really help your Democratic friends and realize that Barack Obama supports Monsanto. Big time. Big time. I will never support Monsanto. I will never support Dow. I will sit down in front of cameras and we will talk face to face publicly with those companies to try to modify where they're going. But I will never sit back behind closed doors like he has and make cush deals on the side with these companies. Yeah, he has stock in Monsanto. Truly. It's unbelievable. I haven't heard about that. You need to listen to Elvis Presley's Boulevard song from Rick Ross. Okay. You have a link to that? I don't have any stocks. No. I'm not invested in the stock market. Well, you could say people have been genetically modifying things for years, since the Egyptians created kitty cats. I mean, that's kind of a non-issue. It's a semantics issue. But modern GMO engineering and scientific engineering of food products is a direct violation of a recent Supreme Court ruling that said that organic matter cannot be patented. Are you aware of that ruling?
No, they said humans cannot be.
They said human organic matter.
Human.
Organic humans cannot be patented. We simply take that precedent and take it to the next level. Yeah, Egyptians, created kitty cats. That's right. Hello? You didn't know the origin of kitty cats? Wow. Boy, you really are, for a guy who claims to be Meow TV, this is sad, man. You're so uninformed, it's pathetic. Where do you think cats came from? My God. How can you even call yourself Meow TV? You have no knowledge of the history of cats. Mad Dog's a good guy. Stop picking on him. Miss Sniper, you're doing okay. You're doing a good job. Well, let's be clear. I have not watched the Scholl experiment yet. I'm still working on Dr. Scholl's. I can't take a call unless you say who you are. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt Egyptians smoked weed. I mean, weed's been around since time itself, right? You know, there's one of the many critical survival urges that people have. Bless you. One of the survival urges people have is to drink water. Hunger is a survival urge. But scientists are beginning to understand that there's an even bigger urge. The urge to get high. I'm serious. There are plants in the Amazon forest that live next to other plants that get them high. They have a symbiotic relationship. So even plants get high. Yeah. Thank you. Well, the teeth cost $650, and it's part of a package deal if you buy them both. I was amazed that they gave us a pretty good break, but it's expensive to get these 3D printed teeth. It's not exactly cheap. You've gotten high on Wing Wong? What is Wing Wong? Yeah, tomorrow will be the day of making pot butter for a lot of people. Ed, I heard your voice. It's Ed, the homeless guy. Ed, how are you?
Hello, Mrs. Sponheim. Sure, how you doing there?
I'm doing okay, man. How's your campaign for president going?
Oh, well, just hang right up, just that quick.
Yeah, well, it's still happening. A lot of people are running for president.
Campaign deal.
Are you going to go ahead and apply?
The issues.
Okay, the issues are important to you.
I want to steal your ideas and just shorten it down some.
Yeah, well, if you want, I can definitely. You can turn the radio down on your end, Ed. So, keep it simple. I agree. Keep it simple. Please vote for Ed if you're in the state of misery and dementia. Anyone who's living in the state of misery and dementia should vote for you. If you're in the state of insanity, that might not be a bad move too. All right, I'm gonna end the show here. Ed, do you have a question?
Here's my punchline when I do my campaign.
All right.
Please help me to help you.
Okay, my punchline is help me to help you. You're saying adding the word please is going to help you get elected. Interesting.
No, please help me to elect me. So,
Ed, you're stealing my ideas. My idea during the campaign was help me help you. And now you're saying your idea is to please help me help you. It's not about Ed. Yeah. This is about us. Help me help you was a concept I came up with in the 2014 election. All right, moving on. I wish I could do more to bring videos into the show right now, but because I have had somewhat of a crash on my XSplit program, I can't give you the ability to look at what I'm seeing on the screen. So I'm going to respond directly to the chat most of all. But this genetically modified idea is not working for me at all. I don't understand why our government's sitting around and suppressing information that's valid and important about everything from vaccinations and their dangers to the dangers of GMO genetically modified organisms. I just don't understand why our government isn't stepping up, other than the fact that they're totally corrupt and bought off and working directly for Satan. I got it, Ed. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got that statement out there. I like it. Use it. My entire slogan is help me help you. So you're adding 2 words to that slogan and making it much more complicated. GMO is wrong, yeah. I was vaccinated with the boosters that kids get, but that's it. My last vaccination was a mumps vaccination at the age of 11. Well, he can make a mockery out of anybody. Ed's really good at that. The tie, I don't know. It was a gift from my sister. My sister Connie gave it to me on a recent trip across country where she was doing a movie. It's kind of funny. Somebody said it looks, like it was made in China, and it was made in China. Made in China, but it has its own brand name. Stephen Harris. So if you want to get this, it's handmade by Stephen Harris in China. So he's probably sitting there just going, I can't, you got to say your name. I'm not here to talk about Connie's personal relations. She can always chat with you privately about that if she's one of your boyfriends or girlfriends. Okay. Made by child labor? No, it was made by Stephen Harris, handmade. See? Labels don't lie. Stephen Harris made this. He was probably forced into child labor camps to work his penance to God, where he decided to just sit and sew, and So Stephen Harris ties are $10, really? Well, that's a pretty good deal. If she spent $10 on my tie, that's decent. That's a decent gift. Peace, bro. Peace, bro, dude. Yeah. You can't be anybody's pimp. You don't qualify. Did all of you get your turkeys for the holiday season already? I got ties for free. I just had to pretend like I had a friend for 35 years. And he opened up a bag and said, "Here, Dave, have one of my ties. Have 10 of my ties." He had like 200 ties from his jobs. And I took 10, and then he sat there with Sarah and I on the couch, and he sat right next to me, and he went, "Dave, I really love you." "No, really, man." It's like, okay. "Yeah, man, I love you." Dude. And it just got weirder and weirder from there on in. I've got all kinds of ties. They're very high-end ties. But you never know after 35 years that your friend may be gay, I must have gay ties because all his ties, I don't even think he knows he's gay. It's one of these situations where I don't think he even knows he's gay. I don't know. He sat next to me and tried to touch me, so I said, "Oh," and I was real weirded out. I was going to get the hell out of Dodge and go to a motel somewhere. I had very good gaydar back in the day. But this is a guy that, a lot of them slip through pretending, that they can just kind of "Oh yeah, I'm heterosexual too, dude. Yeah." When in reality, they're always angling for that opportunity to make you gay. I'm not gay. Never have been. Don't want to be. No interest in being gay. It's sick. It's abhorrent. From my perspective. But from yours, you might like it. It might not be sick or abhorrent. You might just get into it, But not me. It's abhorrent and sick. Okay. Everyone has their... No. That's my personal subjective opinion. I'm not discriminating against gays. I have the right to think it's an abhorrent act. Hello? No, of course not. Accept him as a homosexual. Or her as a lesbian. Isn't that funny how you can't gays are gay and lesbians are lesbians? I mean, what's with that? What's with the separation there, Not denial and not discrimination. No, it's called subjective opinion. You need to look it up. I'm in favor of gay rights when it comes to preventing discrimination. So for you to accuse me of discriminating because I find the act abhorrent, you don't understand what my rights are, my freedoms. You're stepping on my freedoms now. My right to subjectively think it's an abhorrent act is my freedom. You can't tell me I can't have that freedom. You understand what I'm saying? Or are you one of those imbeciles that think we should all be politically correct and hide from everything? I don't hate my gay friend. I feel sorry for him because he doesn't even know he's gay. Look, I've never been in the closet. Just because you're secretly admiring me and want to have sex with me doesn't make me gay. Okay? You see, this is the kind of crap that comes out of people's mouths. You might like it. We are being turned into a demoralized mass of jellyfish. Our entire nation's being turned into these, well, maybe we should try it kind of people. And consequently, a lot of people aren't even having sex and aren't even making babies. So humanity may be very well at risk here with this prurient culture of ours that wants everyone to be gay. Gays occupy 5% of our population, period. And I'm sick and tired of the sexual harassment I hear from people who are gay. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people who are gay trying to make heteros gay. It's just bizarre. It hasn't been, you haven't had sex so long you forgot you even had it. Obviously, in their mind, I must be a gay dream because so many people have hit on me all my life. And it gets me to the core. It grinds my nerves when I'm constantly being hit on by gay people. So, on an airline, you can get a gay meal for $100. What's that about? And don't tell me. I don't want to know. I did work in Hollywood for a while, yeah. I worked on Hollywood Boulevard. When I was 17 years old, I worked on Hollywood Boulevard for a couple weeks. Yeah. I worked at a bookstore. It's not like I look gay. No, it's just that people find me attractive. Both men and women find me attractive, so. Yep, exactly. They're pushing the homosexual agenda so that your kids can accept it. I know, full of confused people, and our future is screwed. I agree, 7807. Which lip should I bite? My right lip or my left lip? David, I'm a straight male, but I would probably do you? Wow. That's just, you're confused. It sounds to me like you've got a little too much cheese going on between your, you-know-whats. Okay. Whatever you call as gay. Now, I also don't think you should discriminate. Like if I were to say, hi everybody, let's talk about freedom. I don't think you should discriminate against me if I were to do that. Like, whatever. Doesn't even matter. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. No, it's not. Sarah's just hanging out. She's enjoying. She's heard all this before. We've had so many shows. I can't tell you. Do a Rodney voice. I'm kind of losing that interest. Thanks anyway. So you're going to discriminate against me if I were to talk like that? Okay, well, if you haven't seen my video, which I did, basically Democrats Against Free Speech on David John Sponheim's YouTube site, you haven't seen my impersonation of Democrat. So you would then ask yourself, is that guy gay or something? I do a lot of voices, and it's been a fun thing all my life. It's how I made a living for a while, and I got away from it because it was just extremely difficult to be around certain people that were gay in the Hollywood industry who had positions of tremendous power. And one of the critical points in my career at voiceover, the changing moment for me, was to be told by some homosexual man that I needed to say this statement over and over and over again in order to keep the job. It made me ill. It made me sick. I had to get out of it. He kept saying, could you just slow down and take a beat between the first syllable and the next syllable? Obama, 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 cannot stop Ebola, Ebola, Ebola from infecting you. No matter where you go, it's always up to you to live in misery. This is your destiny. Okay. Hey, let's talk about something else that's more relevant to your life, like Bill Cosby. Yeah, I had a chance to hang out with Bill one day, but I missed him by that much. Missed it by that much. He was in a limo outside of a building, and I saw him get in it, and I never got a chance to talk. But did you see that interview that I tweeted the other day? I tweeted an interview that Bill did with Tim Russert before Tim Russert died. Yeah, well, that was the end of you, Sniper. The end of Sniper, folks. I'm amazed he lasted that long. He doesn't really know the boundaries of what he's saying. It's kind of amazing. Wow. Yeah, so I Twittered this link with Tim Russert, and Bill Cosby really has made a lot of statements about the plight of black people in America. And some people believe that the attack on him right now may very well be because he's so outspoken about the Ferguson story. One of my more recent tweets goes to this article, or actual Bill Bill Cosby interview with Tim Russert. I'll give you the link to it if you haven't seen it. It's a 47-minute interview that was done in 2008 before Tim Russert was killed. I mean, died. Did I say killed? Before he died. Tim Russert says a lot of weird stuff about a lot of people.
I'm like a big bear. He's my little cub.
And it didn't really pan out for him too well. He died at a young age, too. A monster that broke out. Hang on. Bo, this is exactly why I ban you. God. You can't do that in our show. Okay, on the question of immigration, a tale of two presidents. All right. I normally don't tune in the the CNN news. When George W. Bush couldn't get an immigration overhaul through Senate, he gave up. When Barack Obama couldn't get a bill through the House, he changed the rules. Rewriting the immigration system was at the core of Bush's compassionate conservatism. It didn't work. Faced with failure. You know, I don't like the entire immigration plan. It's going to put a huge strain on our nation. I hope she'll be casting tonight, but who knows? She may just be resting. Well, people want to see you, but not right now. No, there's no hurry. That's right. Tim Russert asked Bush and Kerry about Skull and Bones. That may have been the end of him, 921. That famous interview with John Kerry and George Bush was the Waterloo for that guy. I have to start this computer so I can bridge this show. I can't really do an effective after show unless I've got command and control of XSplit. And XSplit has been not so nice to me tonight. Okay. Okay, is that important? Well, you sent me a picture that I don't think is appropriate, Bo. I'm not going to ban you right now, but I hope you know that that's something that's not appropriate here. We're not here to talk about ridiculous, nonsensical things about sex on Freedom Friday. It used to be that Freedom Friday devolved into a discussion about sex. And the last thing I want to do is talk about sex. Elizabeth Warren's going to beat Clinton in the Democratic primary by double digits. Yeah, well, 42% of the respondents, was that a Gallup poll? Because most Gallup polls have been rigged. I can't imagine Elizabeth Warren winning the Democratic ticket, but you know, a party dedicated to cheating and stealing, what better person to put on the nomination of the ticket than a person who committed fraud in order to get her education at Harvard? Elizabeth Warren lied about her Cherokee Indian background. She can't prove that she was a Cherokee Indian. And no one's processing this. I was amazed, very, very shocked that she hasn't been charged with a crime. You're crying with laughter from some crap? Why does crap make you laugh? You mean feces makes you laugh and cry at the same time? That's really weird, man. Sounds to me like you've got some sort of a scat fetish. Arizona dude, it's simple why reward people that have broken the law. How about fix your borders first? I know, go through the correct channels to become a citizen, and then we can talk. You had kids here? Too bad, go home. Your government in Mexico treats us like dogs in your prison. So true, Arizona dude. You encapsulated it big time in that statement. Really well written, too. Yeah, I like that. I like the copy of that. You know, it's like to the point. Nice work. I'm going to copy that in my notepad. It's just, you know, the way you phrase it just kind of like hits home in every way. All right. Poop poop de doop. Poop poop de doop. Do 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 do. So somebody said this is a blend of entertainment and politics, our show is. I'm glad you said it that way, because I'm copying that copy I made, add it to my blog. But it's true. Our country is truly reaching the point where immigration is going to drain our services. And if you were to get arrested in Mexico for being an illegal alien pretending to be a Mexican, You go to jail for a couple years. Thank you, guest 906. I can't wait till I'm president too. But we've got a huge hurdle to pass. The control of our media has been completely run by big, powerful, moneyed interests.
I'll be on the show in 5 minutes.
Take your time, but hurry up. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I don't have to go to the bathroom or anything. I'm good. You can sleep. You can take another 20 minutes off. But I have to start this computer and shift gears to another venue, drop out of our YouTube recording, and then bring the show back up because I lost control over the XSplit program. I think it's because it's on the opposite screen. I think it should be on this screen over here. Whenever things get locked up over here, it's impossible. Well, thanks for that link about Elizabeth Warren. It just shows me it's symptomatic of how corrupt the Democrats are. It really is. If they want to pick a woman who committed fraud to become a U.S. senator, oh wow, that says it all right there. Let alone Hillary. I mean, Hillary's she's running a close second on fraud. This is real. Okay, well, you've got a person there with a very, very interesting piercing. It's no big deal, man. Yeah, a lot of women have piercings. Totally okay. How do you feel about Germany and rest of Europe being overrun by Arabs and Russian Slavs? That's exactly the plan too in Europe, 434. The powerful global monetary leaders that own the countries that you're talking about in Europe, in Germany, they actually want to do the same thing in those countries as they're doing here. See, they have everything to gain by weakening our borders. The biggest obstacle to their power over our monetary system is a country that takes control of its destiny, a country that rules over its sovereign borders. That is the one stopgap to their plan of global domination. So they want to weaken all our countries. I wish I could play the Mr. Rogers video right now. Like I said, I can't control my XSplit board. I'm going to go to a backup system shortly, and then I'll be back up and running. I'll play Mr. Rogers for you. Okay. Plus, I can't play Mr. Rogers on my YouTube site because whenever I do, they immediately put a statement saying this video cannot be seen in some countries due to possible copyright violations. We're using fair use. We're trying to expose people to Mr. Rogers. We're not violating any copyright laws in the U.S., but they do that to us, and I don't like that. No, we don't want money. We can't get any money from Mark and Scrubby to cast here. If they were to offer me casting money, I really can't take it right now. We are remaining 100% compliant with the FEC laws. The Federal Election Commission is designed to keep corrupt money of any sort, so they made it so that you can't get any revenue from the internet. You can't get revenue from any foreign country, and you certainly can't get revenue from internet businesses that are run out of foreign countries. Not to say Vaughn is. Vaughn seems like a U.S.-based company, but... No, I don't have any anger whatsoever at Sarah for showing her stomach. No, she can do that. She's a free person. What do you think Freedom Friday is all about?
Notice that I didn't show my face at the same time I showed my stomach.
There you go. There's no face shot in that picture. It could have been doctored.
It's anybody's stomach.
Could be anybody's stomach. Could have been her body double that we have here in the house. Sarah, you can leave today and just leave your body double here. I'm just kidding. Okay, where are you? Dave is not a big...
double might be nicer than me.
No, I mean, I doubt it. Dave is not a big Putin fan. I'm a person who is more respectful of any world leader to call that person a jackass like Obama did. Yeah, the FSU gunman sent 10 packages before shooting postal workers. That's right. Florida State University library guy mailed 10 packages before the shooting. Wow. Well, he was one of those loose cannons that got out of control. Yeah, we're in JustCast right now. Let me go over there. See what you got. Are you in there right now too? I'm broadcasting in uVlog as well. No, I don't support the legalization of all drugs, guest 996. At this point, I'm willing to talk about if 2/3 the majority of our country were to want legalization of all drugs, I'd be in favor of it. I'd work with it, whatever 2/3 majority of the country wants to do. That's how amenable I am to making changes. She cannot act like me, Virus, and I can't act like her. It's impossible. We're totally different people. I'm sure I could take out Obama in an arm wrestling match. I mean, he's like 120 pounds. I weigh 225, and I'm 6'4". No, I don't support any gun confiscation laws. I don't mind the fact that police offer up some money for gun turn-in programs. I'm okay with that. Some police departments like Seattle offered $100 for anybody who wanted to turn in their weapon per person, and they had a huge showing. People need the cash. That's one way to eliminate.
What was it they offered? What?
$100 for every weapon, and that was a pretty sweet deal for people.
That's unreal, because a lot of those weapons are worth a lot more than that.
Yeah, but for some people who can't sell their old rifle that's rusting, it worked out. So they brought a lot of rifles in doing that. But I don't support the concept of the government telling any of us what we should do that violates our freedoms. Our freedoms guaranteed by the amendments to the Constitution are essential and cannot be changed unless, of course, they put together an amendment to change an amendment, like they did with Prohibition. It would be a distant camera shot of her.
I'm coming in.
No, you don't have to come in. It's cool. She'll be in real soon. I know a lot of you are really losing it because you need more Sarah. That's true, yeah. Kansas City, I'm not going to take your call right now, okay? I'm kind of right in the middle of a transition here because I've got to hook up another camera. Before Sarah's coming in with Kat, and I'm going to step out just over the side here.
Who's Amber?
There's our kitty cat.
Ooh, Amber.
And I can't show her on cam because I don't have the kitty cat cam ability on this one. We could switch cameras once the other XSplit starts. So she doesn't really like to...
Well, she was sleeping. She was so happy.
She was.
Sleeping on my lap, and then I had to get up, so I have to relax and be like I'm laying down still, even though I'm not.
Your school professor said communism is good. Every school professor that I've talked to says communism is good. That's why I left the academic community. I encountered that same type of thing, Guest 996, when I was going to college at UCLA. I'm serious. And how do you feel about this? I'm really angry that they're using the power of the academic community to control people's minds. There is no successful communist government or economy that indeed hasn't been corrupted by the same problem that capitalism faces. Greed.
We don't want a dog. Who would want a dog when you've got a cat? Like Amber.
Well, I can tell you I don't support the KKK or the Black Panther Party, but they have the right to exist in this country. Even militia groups are allowed to exist based on our Second Amendment. I don't live in my mom's basement, no. I live in my mom's master bedroom. That didn't sound right. My mom's been dead for about 14 years. But she used to live in this house. And when she passed on, we actually, thank you for sharing. When my mom passed on, we actually had to respray the room with a product called Kills. Let me give you a foot rub. Kills takes out the smell of cigarettes. My mom smoked 3 packs a day for 55 years. She said 2.5, but everyone knew it was like 3 packs a day. And the room was completely treated. I treated all the walls with Kills, and we put in a whole new floor. And I was able to move into it. It's pretty cool. I'm just glad you're getting some relief. Poor Sarah has a foot problem. I'm giving her a massage.
Actually, those things helped, except then you can actually still see my foot. The top of my shoe dug into my top of my foot.
See, those, they won't work. You should just use the shoes as they were meant to be used. The bass shoes are made to build. They sink. You sink into them and they fit. They're made with leather. And
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable.
I come from a family of shoe manufacturers that dates back to the 1600s, and I've told people this before. I have deep roots in New England, and my great-great-grandparents and great-great-uncles all worked in shoe factory that they built in New England. And they eventually closed the shoe factory in the mid-1950s, early 1960s because of foreign competition. No, they didn't come up with a Nike. They came up with a design, and I can show you the design of the shoe that they came up with because I've got a pair of shoes that just like those.
Similar.
Very similar. Let me show you.
Yeah, David saw these shoes. He's like, "Oh, these are like the shoes my family made." Because I guess he went to the factory or something.
Yeah, this is a shoe that's made in a style.
Hi, Demon Dave.
This is a shoe that's made in a style, and you're saying, "Wow, you got some pretty big feet." Yeah, I do. These are actually too big for me, but they are made in a style that the New England shoe manufacturers followed to the letter, right down to the stitching. And this is an R.J. Colt built to last shoe, and it really is built to last.
Now David will put the shoe on my head.
No, I'm not. But I mean, but this design itself will be very durable. It's not very attractive.
Nope. I don't always show my piercing.
I can't give you specifics about where in New England, or you'll know exactly where in New England. So I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to say near the Boston area.
I have my ears pierced and my belly button pierced. Thanks.
So shoe companies like the Boston Shoe Company and
Cryonics, is that like cryogenics? Or is that different than cryogenics?
Rockports have been one of the few shoe companies that actually survived the textile takeover. Rockports are still good shoes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
You're drinking tea from South Seattle, really? Nice. But you're not in South Seattle. Okay. So you want to be with Sarah, I can tell. Let me go get something to drink.
Oh, maybe you can get some apple cider.
Ooh, yeah.
I would love some too, please. With mulling spices from a cool little spice store. Wow, Sarah's awesome. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm nice. It's because I don't have to deal with you in real life that I'm so nice. Oh, did he screen pick it? He took a screen capture and he's like, "This is my new background, Sarah's belly button piercing." I'm not high today. I don't get high. Maybe I'm a little high on life. I went shopping and got myself this awesome new outfit. And I got the coolest gift for someone who's very difficult to shop for. Like every year I'm like, what do I buy that person? And then today I was in that thrift store. I mean, this is pretty nice, right? So I was in that same thrift store and I saw this thing and I was like, that would look good on that person. And it looks nice, just like this looks nice and more expensive than it was. So the orthodontist said he could take out a couple of teeth, shove the other teeth forward to make it look like the teeth weren't taken out, but I'd have to wear braces for a really long time. And that's it in a nutshell. But he'd work with a periodontist, and I also found out that my insurance doesn't cover braces at all, so I'd have to pay for it out of pocket, which would be pretty expensive.
Terrific cider. I'm glad I got it for you there.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So David's thinking instead that I should go the route that he went because I already paid for it anyway. And so they cost you $5,000. Yeah, it would cost $5,600 is what he said. And then on top of that, they would cost, plus my periodontist, plus a prosthodontist, because like if they took out teeth and they weren't able to move them forward, then they could possibly put in implants. And then if they put in implants, then then it's all the costs of the implant and the tooth, the fake tooth on top of it. Do I support the Salvation Army by shopping there? It was not the Salvation Army, but it was a thrift store that supports the food bank. So all the money goes to the food bank. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking, and so I did ask him is there any rush to get 392? You're rude. Go away. So I did talk to him about implants, and I talked to him about the thing that David uses, but the one that David uses, the press-on veneers, that there's no rush, at least on his part, to start with this. You're gonna be nice? Okay. Thank you. I won't ban you then. I hope you learned your lesson. Just because, I mean, here I am talking about going to an orthodontist just to have a conversation because, yes, I know my teeth need some work. And then you say that. Anyway, I'll move on. There are some dental colleges near me, but I would rather, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I would rather go to someone that I know is referred and things like that. Are the phone lines still open? They just rang. So anyway, there's no rush. I could wait a couple years to start this process. Yeah, exactly, Sir Quack. I don't want to go to some college kid to get this done. It was kind of funny. So I went to go see the orthodontist, and the orthodontist was wearing braces. That was kind of funny. Well, and the thing is, what he and the periodontist, who I can tell they kind of have very similar smiles, they have different smiles than most people. So it's like he would want these two teeth, these two, which are number 7 and number 10, shoved back, so then these two would stick out more. Oh no, I don't want to do Invisalign, but I do think of doing pressonveneers.com, which, I mean, I've already paid the money to do it. I have the material to do the fake thing like David's done. So, don't do press-ons. Why not? I mean, press-on veneers are pretty interesting because he just wears the press-on veneers. You're not sure you like the fake thing? It's like wearing a wig. But the cool thing about the press-on veneers is, like, your real teeth are still underneath there and they're not taking out the teeth. Whereas here it's like, oh, so you take 2 teeth out and then I just have these big braces, and then in the meantime you're like pulling these other teeth forward, and and not only that, but it involves like root canals and all that.
Oh, really? Wow. You'll have to tell me
Yeah, well, I smile with my real teeth, and people call me Count Dracula or a vampire. So, yeah, I mean, it feels good to smile with your own teeth when people are saying these things. Well, it's painful until you get the root canals to kill all the to basically it doesn't have to be painful because then they go in with the root canals and they kill all the nerves. So then anything they do doesn't hurt it's not painful anymore.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
What?
I didn't know that about braces.
It's not always the way with braces. I mean, braces are usually very painful, and usually they don't require root canals, and usually they are very painful. Well, that would be extremely expensive if I removed all my teeth and got implants. Yeah, maybe I just smile like a cat. True, Meow TV too. Diva vamps are hot. I know, there are a lot of mean people in the world. The Kennewick man had teeth that were ground down to the roots. Oh, guys, that's
Well, there are people in Africa that actually purposely shave their teeth into sharp objects. You know, so we're so vain in America that we have to have a perfect set of teeth that, you know, when I had a chip in my tooth, everyone said, "Hey, man, you've got a chip in your tooth." It's like, and I said, "Big deal." But the more I talked about it, the more I realized, wow, this could really impair my ability to become president of the United States.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a decent smile. So I went out of my way to find a solution, and I think this is the best,
look at
most
David's
cost
smile.
affordable.
Smile wide. See? I mean, that's
How can
nice.
you lose, you know? And I can pull these out
Underneath.
and go back to my normal smile, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Hang on. We got.
That's a good idea. I could get cat whiskers. Meow.
Yeah.
My cat's missing a tooth.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got to tell you, we don't take calls from people from other shows. We've got a strict policy to not take calls from other show people. So if you are running another show right now on the Vaughn Network, don't call us. Okay.
So from Monday Cheese, they're actually 3D. They're 3D. So they stick onto the other teeth. You should show people sometimes your teeth without, what they, I'm saying show them how, well, you guys, you can just go to pressonveneers.com.
Well, yeah, you can look at the whole deal. I don't need to plug press on veneers either. I mean, they are expensive. I don't want people to lose money, you know. The reason why I don't take other callers from other shows is we really are looking for average people who have, they're afraid to necessarily cam up. They're not superstars in their own mind. We need people who want to actually get involved in politics. We're not into cross-promoting other shows either. Believe me, there's no battle there. I've got the best wits on earth. I can't have a battle of wits with an unarmed person like that guy. Trust me. I got more answers than he'll ever come up with. I've got real life experience dating back 45 years of people like him giving me crap. So trust me, I'm an expert at verbal combat, and I will take them down, whoever they are. And I don't want to even go there because I'm not really feeling the anger right now. I'm trying to feel the love, whatever love is left in this country.
Anyway, that's a website. You can check it out.
The Press on Veneer website.
So,
okay, look at that.
I don't know.
The .net will not load. On a complete program, the .net will not load now. Yeah, what about no, do you not understand? Thank you. Okay, we've had a lot of trolls, and many of them are institutional trolls that should be institutionalized. And frankly, I don't really need to go there at this point. No, not at all. In fact, you actually think you're playing me by getting my reaction. What you don't understand is I'm playing you. You know, some people accuse me of saying, David, why did you do a blackface video? You could have possibly realized that was political suicide. You're so wrong, I can't even tell you. It's not only the only way, it is political Genius is what it is. Political genius. So the deal is we cannot possibly take on calls from people who are threatening me. I mean, it's crazy to take threats from somebody. And, you know, frankly, we're not here to deal with people threatening my life all the time. That's why I have a security force to deal with that problem. Okay? Bear in mind, you guys are definitely going down. Oh, we're going to make a little switch here. Sarah, stop that computer right there. And let me go on right here.
Wait.
Just turn the whole computer down. No, Control, Alt, Delete everything. We're shutting the computer down. Hank, let's go to Task Manager right there.
Just go here.
No, don't do that.
You said you
Well,
wanted
hang
me
on.
to shut down
I know,
the computer.
but
That's
right
how
now
you shut down
I want
the
to verify.
computer.
I got that. You see what I have going here? It is strangulated. All these screens have strangulated the stream up, the X split